Good evening, Gabby.
Good evening, Susan. Welcome all to our weekly podcast, Terry Currans, the Curran View, with the Idol of Hillsborough, Mr. Terry Curran. Steady away, son. Kind of week you had?
Yep, steady away weekend. Steady away all week and all.
Steady away. What magic moments have you sourced for us this week,
Gabby,
T?
stop asking me
I
these
know, it's
magic
mad.
moments.
Do you see? I mean,
How can you pick a magic moment? It's been incredible, the goals. I mean, we have to pick one, and in fact I picked two. And one of them, I'm not over the moon with him. I'm so excited for him. Is what they call him, Maddison for Tottenham.
Oh, yeah, super.
So Romario, the centre back for Tottenham, an unbelievable goal. And Maddison's and all. It's in fact, Tottenham look a lot better without Kane than they did with Kane.
Well, we're going to be talking about that on the topics of the week, because I think that West Ham look better as well without Rice. And I think sometimes when you have that big player that moves on, it allows them other players to blossom. And I think Crystal Palace do as well without Wilfried Zaha. But, yeah.
Well, when you can take Messi and Ronaldo out of all that equation. Yeah. But, I mean, Kane's a great player, great goal scorer. But maybe it did stifle the other players.
Yeah.
And they maybe did feel a bit out of it. You know, it were all Tottenham were Kane, and without Kane, they wouldn't even win games, near mind anything else. But they look a better team, must say. And you're right about West Ham. He looks as though he's playing with a smile on his face now. Moyes, he's had that first win of a trophy, and he thinks, I want more success now.
He's tasted blood and he's going for the juggler, isn't he?
Yep.
Tim Castlin, who we have got an Ask TC a little bit later in the podcast. We did say to all our members of the group, the Curran View group, if you have these are contributors, top contributors, if you've got a question, and I picked Tim out because Tim puts a lot of time and effort into posts into the Curran View, so he has a question for you later. He's also picked a magic moment as well, so this is the magic moment from...
And that's brilliant to know that the fans get a magic moment, yeah.
Absolutely. Tarina Savage did the other week when she picked out Gustav Hammer's goal for Sheffield United. She's the big Unitedite, but she has tremendous knowledge about the game. And what I love about her posts, totally unbiased. And that's what I love with the Curran View, totally unbiased posts. You're not going to get 100% of it because there are one or two one-eyed football fans on there.
Yeah, but
even, you know, I love the unbiased of it.
I like teams to play a certain way. But with Sheffield Wednesday, I don't mind how they play as long as they win.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's weird, isn't it?
Absolutely, T. But so Tim's picked out Jordan Pickford saves, and I'll say saves because that one towards the end, it wasn't just a save; it was a double save, and it was truly fantastic, wasn't it?
Unbelievable. See, like I said, I mean, I picked one last week, which was the goalkeeper at Liverpool.
Yeah, you did. Alisson's. Oh, what a save that was!
You know, and an incredible save. I mean, you're right about Joe. For whatever he is, he made 3 great saves the other night against Sheffield United, Saturday.
Yeah,
against Sheffield United.
Yeah, he did. I was watching the replay, and I saw a couple of his saves, and I thought, I don't know what they're getting excited about. That was a decent save, but it was, oh my days, what a save! And clearly it was the last double save that people were talking about, and Tim Castlin in particular. So thanks, Tim, for your magic moment.
Yeah, thank you, Tim.
And it truly was a magnificent moment from Jordan Pickford. I've picked out a few, 3 hat-tricks in the Premier League this week. First time for quite some time. Evan Ferguson, how good is this young kid going to be? And he did not remind me, very different of Erling Haaland.
Listen, once you give these kids the chance, you know, some of them just explode and have no fear whatsoever. And he's one of those young guys what's going to go right to the top.
Ain't he powerful?
Oh, it's incredible.
I mean, he looks
I mean incredible. And what I'm going to say to you, Vinal, is this. That Bellingham looks a different player altogether at Real Madrid. I know he's playing with better quality players, but again, you know, I mean, I saw him when they played that cup game at
Yeah, he did
Portsmouth. Do you
Portsmouth, yeah.
remember?
Yeah, I do,
And I
yeah,
said to you, I
yeah.
said, there's two or three here look good, really good players,
Yeah.
and I picked him out. But then he did look like a box-to-box player. But under Real Madrid, it looks as though he's just taken over. He's the leader. But it's like how else. The older you get, you'll start to improve.
Yeah.
And the greater ones go on to keep improving, don't they?
It all bodes well for the national team, and we are going to be talking
Yeah.
about that because it
By
is
the
an
way,
international break.
what I've seen, there were England are ready to offer Pep Guardiola. If that will be the biggest lottery win in history.
Absolutely.
If they can get that.
Absolutely, too. 5-star, excuse me, 5-star Spurs was one of my other magic moments. I thought they again played some tremendous football. Tottenham did, and I thought some of the goals were quite superb. Okay, you could argue that the defence, they didn't get tight enough to players. Players did have a lot of room in and around the box, but I thought Son's goal in particular, his first goal, where he's just dinked it over the goalkeeper.
Oh,
I thought that was just
I saw
delicious.
that today, and I
It's
said to
fantastic.
Tom, what a goal that is.
Yeah. And them are the goals really that take my eye. I have posted up into the Curran View group the 5 goals that the EFL post up every week.
I can't like anything on them groups because I'm banned for 17 more days. I don't know what I've done.
I know you are. I have posted stuff of yours. In fact, I posted the Roger Wilde clip on the Curran View today, and Roger is going to be in the Legends Lounge a little bit later in the podcast. And my top magic moment this week, I was sitting in my mum and dad's house on a Sunday, and I've gone, oh my dad, what a goal! What he always says, there's like teams and players, the five-a-side team there, he's a five-a-side player. It's that 1-2 touch football, and Palace play like a five-a-side team. And I think there was no greater example than Edward's goal.
Yeah.
The way that he got the ball, little give and go, little back flick, receives it, takes it onto the right-hand side, and then it's a right-footed shot against the goalkeeper into the opposite corner. And I thought that was just magnificent.
When you see the ball move,
Yeah,
with 1 and 2 touches,
yeah,
it's an incredible achievement. Not achievement, but it's an incredible, exciting to watch because people don't know whether to go or stay, don't they?
No, they don't.
I still want to see people. I still want to see great players in there what can run past people because you still need that type of thing in your team.
Yeah.
But when you play, as I always mention, the tempo's not quick enough.
Yeah,
but
you do.
But when you play with your tempo, right, it still has to be with accuracy.
Absolutely. And Palace, whenever I've seen I love the Palace fans as well. I think they're absolutely fantastic. That one end at Crystal Palace, I just think it's as good an end as you've got in English football.
You asked my 2 kids, I said to them, that's a great atmosphere down there.
Yeah.
Always has been. Always has been.
What was it like playing in front of that
Great.
crowd there at Palace?
I said to you, I said, telling you asked Tom and Joe.
Yeah.
I've said to them, and they said to you, what, Palace? I said, yeah, fantastic atmosphere. It's incredible. I mean, there were 52,000 there one Friday night or something like that when they got promotion. Terry Venable took them up.
Yeah.
It's an incredible place. It's not a fantastic ground, but the atmosphere is electric.
Absolutely. Does it, as an away player and an away team playing in that atmosphere, because they always say, a good home crowd like that gets behind the team, it's as good as a goal. But is it also as good as a goal for players like yourself too? You must get inspiration.
I can only speak for me because I can't speak for anybody else.
Yeah.
It didn't make a difference where I played. Right? I still wanted to play with that same enthusiasm.
Yeah.
But make no mistake, when you're playing there in front of when it's electric.
Yes.
I mean, I played in front of I've played in under 90,000, 100,000, what old Wembley was. 60 odd at Manchester United, 70 odd at Man United, 50 odd at ours.
Yeah.
49, nearly 50,000 at Hillsborough. But QPR was another one. Because you're on top of it, it was a great little atmosphere there. Some of the lower clubs, like, when you play at them, even though there's only about 4,000 or 5,000, they make tremendous noise. Then sometimes you go to Man United, or listen to it now, they're taking away the standing area because it used to be electric. It did used to be electric, but Palace still have that enthusiasm, don't they?
They certainly do. And again, when you've got that electric atmosphere, it must be like playing in a cup semi-final or a cup
I used to love
final.
it.
Yeah. And I guess as well, for some players that can't cut it at that kind of levels, you certainly find out who are the men and who are the boys, who's going to sink and who's going to swim. And I suppose if you've got players of strong character,
100%.
of ability and character,
100%.
they're
Agree.
going to grow into it. Absolutely, T. International break. Gareth.
Yeah, we're all having one.
Gareth Southgate has picked his England squad. Did you, like me, go, well, it doesn't surprise me. He's at it again. I thought it was incredible. And some of the players that he left out, you're thinking, what do they have to do to get into his squad? I can't work the fella out.
Well, I've not seen the squad, but I've heard, the ones, I do like Harry Maguire.
I like him.
He's a better player than that Lindelof,
Oh,
right?
he's
But still
desperate, isn't
can't,
he?
because he did say when he took over the job, if you have to be playing,
Yes, he did, yeah.
right?
Mm.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I don't know what the squad is, but when I saw that, I thought to myself, and the next thing I see is Guardiola, like I just said. I know you're going to speak about it a bit later on, but I thought to myself, please God, just please God, and you'll see the difference in the football. It's just, it's mind-boggling. I don't. Yeah, people think he's done really well for England, don't they?
I'm truly amazed that people watch England and think that he is the most successful manager since Alf Ramsey because he got us to semi-finals and finals. I think he's
You can
arguably
get to
the
any final, you can
absolutely,
get to any semi-final.
absolutely.
If you don't win it, it means no.
Absolutely, but arguably, T, I think he's the worst England manager in my lifetime. He bores the backside out of me and off me. I find it an hard watch to watch England. I look at the squad that we've got, and I think we've got some fantastic players. But again, the three players, and I think they're all great lads. I like Declan Rice as a person. I think he's a lovely kid. I thought that again, Arsenal, it all went over the top. In fact, I texted you, and we had a conversation. He scored that goal. It's all going to be about Declan Rice, and then they had that Rice baby. I don't know what he offers a football team. I just think he's a
I think
very
he's a good player,
overrated.
Gavin, but I'm like you.
So
When you look at
overrated.
Madison,
Yeah,
everybody sees it different. We do.
yeah, we do. Yeah,
Look, I'm behind you.
yeah,
I'm 90% behind you. Make no mistake on that. But I think he's a good player.
yeah,
And we were talking about this on phone the other day. You said he's a smashing guy,
yeah. I like him. Nice kid.
which is a big plus.
Mm,
And I make no mistake, he's going to be 100% for, like it was for West Ham. He's going to be exact same for Arsenal. They can rely on him, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch,
yeah.
which is always a big plus because the other players won't even mess around, will look up to him and respect him. So I get all that. But I'd sooner have Madison than Rice.
100%. I mean, for me, Henderson and Rice, and this is the most stupid thing I've ever heard, but I do agree with it, are better without the ball than with the ball. And what I'll say is, I was watching Rice a lot on the weekend, Arsenal against Man United, and I thought that United goal should have stood. I didn't see that as offside, and I think if it is offside, we need to change the rules because that was a perfectly good legal goal that should have won the game for them. But I watched Rice, and if you watch him for England as well, and Henderson, whenever a goalkeeper or a defender has got the ball, he will stand just behind the player of the opposite side. He don't come off at an angle to receive the ball on the half turn and take it out of his feet. He will point to where that defender should play the ball. And this is what happens with England. We play it to the fullback. The fullback can't get out, so he pulls the ball back. He plays it to the centre half. He plays it across the defence. He goes out to the left back. And the two midfield players, these what they call double pivots, another one is Phillips as well. They're pointing to where the ball should be played. No, boys. Where the ball should be played is at your bloody foot. So find space on that pitch. There's lots of space to be found. Find it,
Watch
but they're not brave.
watch what causes team problems, whether it's
Yep.
an international level
Yep.
or any level. Because I'm not one of these when they say at this level you can't afford to make at any level. On a Sunday league you can't afford to make mistakes.
Absolutely.
What causes the problem where it's going back all the time is
Yep.
this. You should always play that ball on the front foot.
Absolutely.
Where he can either take it
Mhm.
forward himself,
Yep.
or he can look to play it forward.
Yep.
Right? Or he can play a little 1-2 to move on. But they don't. He just goes his back foot, then he's got to turn back out of it.
Yeah.
And then 9 times out of 10 they go back. And then that's when people press them, they panic, they lose the ball, and then it's either a goal or an earlier goal, and the fans get panicky and start saying, get it away and a goal, that type of thing.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. But again, midfield players have got to be brave, and we haven't got brave players. They're all right when they ain't got the ball and they try and break down the play, and he'll just sit in front of that back four because that's what he likes to do. But I like my England team or any team to get the ball. When any player's got the ball, he needs 2 or 3 options. Come off on angles, find space, pass. You pass it again, have a little wall pass, keep hold of the ball, and play forward. Play the ball into space or into feet, and play with your brain, your intelligence. And we sadly don't. We've got Origi, well, I can't never pronounce his name, but Eze. I think he's a fantastic football player. Eberici Eze, James Maddison, Jack Grealish, and Phil Foden. 4 brilliant midfield players, but I guarantee you he won't play any of them. Won't play any of them.
Gabby, hope and pray that we get Guardiola.
Oh, 100%.
You'll see the difference.
Yeah.
And you'll say, well, why couldn't that? Because he doesn't see what Guardiola sees.
No.
And he sees a different game. That's no disrespect to him.
No,
Guardiola is
yeah.
the elite.
Yeah.
But we get obsessed with our people and thinking, we're better than what we are, and we're not.
No, we're not. And again, if and when, and he will leave, all managers either leave or get sacked. When he goes, there is no top flight elite side that will have Southgate as a manager, particularly in this country. Other countries, they might look at it and look at the stats and think, oh, we'll take a punt on him because they don't know him that well. They haven't watched him that often, but they'll soon find out that he's a complete waste of time, and he'll soon be getting the tin tack from wherever he goes. He's a bang average manager, and we need
He
elite.
he is so.
Yeah.
I can't believe how they think he's a great manager, mate.
He amazes me. It absolutely amazes me. I think he's awful. I really truly think he's awful. I think he has a wonderful ability.
He's such a nice guy, and that's about it I can say about him.
Again, yeah, and I like the way.
And I liked him as a player.
Yeah, he was a good player. Again, I like the way he's integrated players into the team. I like the way that, okay, they go overboard when they've got them blow up things in the swimming pools and what have you, and then they adopted the cat. I do think they go over the top playing the PC card, but he has made it a decent place for the players to go in, and it does look like it's a club situation rather than it's in England. You got all players from different teams.
But he's still got favourites.
Absolutely,
100%,
100%, and the acid test comes down to not what you do, but the way that you do it. And again, I go back. His selections are boring. He's too defensive. We will never win anything with Southgate, and if we do, it will be in spite of him, not because of him, because we've got some damn good football players.
Yes.
And we've got Ukraine on Saturday night too. In fact, Kitch is in Poland at the moment because that's where England are going to be playing. I think he's in Krakow or Krakow or however you say it. And he sent me a picture. He direct messaged me. He said, "I've just had to take this picture for you, Gab. I looked at the shop and it reminded me of you. And it was a shop that got Mavericks on it. So thanks, Kitch, for that. Absolutely got a Maverick shop in Krakow. I don't know what they're selling, but those Maverick players we never will forget. We've got a few Maverick players in the England squad these days, but like the Mavericks of the 70s, all of them are going to be overlooked because Southgate wants to play it safe. But Ukraine, I mean, it should be a decent England win, shouldn't it?
Well, yes, yes and no, but sometimes you know how England play.
Yeah, but they haven't
So,
got
so
nothing,
and
have they? T. I mean,
hey,
they haven't got nothing. I mean, I've seen them play. Okay, they beat us at Wolverhampton probably 2 years ago now, wasn't it? But I've looked at them at times, Ukraine. I thought that oh, sorry, no, it was the Hungary, of course, that beat us, not the Ukraine. I've watched Ukraine a few times and thought they're absolutely awful. And
well,
England are top of the group.
yeah, yeah, but our media make them out to be um, good teams. These are, you think this. Hang on a bit. I mean, there's a war going off in Ukraine, and yet they're still playing a football
Yeah,
match.
yeah, absolutely.
It baffles you.
Yeah, it does.
Baffles you.
But again, the media may come out. If you put that Ukrainian national team into the English leagues, you would, I'm guessing, you'd pitch them somewhere halfway up the championship. I don't think they were a Premier League side. And then, of course, we take on Scotland. I believe it's Tuesday night. Young Tom's going up there with his mates. Scotland versus England. I think it's at Hampden Park, isn't it? That is going to be a far more difficult game for England than the Ukraine game, simply because
Isn't
the
that like a
Jocks,
centenary
the
game or
Jocks will
something?
raise the game. Sorry.
Isn't that like a centenary game?
Yeah, it's some kind of game like that. I'm not sure what it's for. I wished it was every year like we used to have the old home internationals, and I'd love them to bring that back. I mean, when you keep hearing all these cobblers about global warming and we should be buying all our produce locally and grow your own mushrooms down the bottom of the garden. Why can't we have the home internationals? There's less travelling. Oh no, we have to go and play over in Indonesia or wherever. It's absolutely cobblers. But people again fall for it all the time. But I hope England don't fall for Scotland because I think that is going to be a really difficult game. The Jocks will raise the game. They'll play like gladiators against England. I think if England ain't up for it, I think England may even get beat.
Well, they're very difficult then.
They are, yeah,
I'm like you. I think they've
yeah,
got some really, really quality players,
yeah.
mate.
I do.
And I know people will go on about us. No, I think we're fair. I think we're really fair.
Mm.
And everything you pointed out there will be, as you said, the Scotland game will be a lot more difficult than
The Euro qualification game against the
yeah
Ukraine.
I mean we play the same teams practically all the time, don't
Yeah, we
we?
do. Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Again, I don't get all these qualification games for the Euros and the World Cup. I think when they're extending these tournaments like they have done, they might as well have all the top elite sides there, and then the smaller teams they have their qualification games to qualify for that said tournament, and then in the meantime, elite teams like England and France and Brazil and Argentina, they should all be playing each other. So anytime England plays any football team, it should be a team that's going to give us a proper match, not like some of this rubbish that we play in qualification groups. Because we get out the qualification groups, we go unbeaten, we go to a tournament, play the first decent team, and then they get beat. I like the Nations League where you're paired against good nations in that league. I think it's the way forward, personally.
Well, I won't be watching England and Ukraine. I'll watch a different match. I'll
Yeah.
see. I'll see who's on. What's got better quality. It's going to be more of an entertaining game than than what the England game, because this could be a one-sided game, couldn't
Yeah,
it?
I think it will be. I think England will absolutely spank them. Eddie Nketiah as well has been called up. It's got shades of Ivan Toney for me. Okay, I don't think he's got a gambling addiction, but in terms of, I don't think they'll get any minutes on the pitch. And I think that Southgate has only picked him in the England squad because it just takes the heat off in picking Henderson, Maguire, and Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips, I don't think has started any games. He's had very, very few minutes in the Premier League, if any, this season for Man City. Jordan Henderson is playing in the Saudi Professional League. I remember Southgate saying once, I pick players on form and they have to play at a good standard like the Premier League. Well,
And they
Southgate
have
has
to be
gone
playing. Them the three things he said.
absolutely, and
And
he's gone
everyone's
back.
been alive.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
And and it is a lie.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I say it as it is.
Yeah, and then he's come out before the World Cup's going on about when they were going to Qatar, rainbow laces, rainbow this, LGB, whatever they are. Leave all your politics. We say this on the podcast, and this is what I like about Simon Jordan. Leave all of your politics out of football. Don't take the knee. Don't start getting in bed with these LGBT, anything political, because it will be a weapon that they will use to hit you with. And Southgate's been hit with it when he was talking about, oh, people keep going on about Jordan Henderson. He's gone to play in Saudi Arabia with all their human rights issues. No, 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 no. People, fans, question Jordan Henderson because he's playing in a Mickey Mouse league, and you've always maintained you need to be playing at a top level for me to pick you to play for England. Southgate, you're an absolute hypocrite. The sooner you go, the better, and let's get somebody in decent, Pep Guardiola, who can actually run and coach a football team. So there we go. That's about the international break too.
I know. I've done the same thing as what you're saying with Guardiola,
Yeah.
with Southgate.
Yeah.
It's never going to change with him.
No, it can't, because he is what he is. Leopards don't change their spots, and he certainly won't be either. Book Corner Tea in association with myfootballbooks.com. Andy hasn't, I think he's had a very busy week at work, so he hasn't given us a recommendation this week. But I have noticed on his Facebook and Twitter feeds that he's been promoting Big Mal by David Tossell, The High Life and Hard Times of Malcolm Allison. I mean, what a legend. And by the way, on this day in 1927, Malcolm Allison was born. Absolute legend, great coach, great man of football. Went back to Man City, didn't quite work. But apart from that, he was quite successful.
Yeah, listen, the thing is with Malcolm, he went to Manchester City.
Yep.
And what he did, he shouldn't have got rid of people like Barnes. He got this reputation about being a great coach.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he wasn't. And
Yeah.
I mean, I like Malcolm. And they tried to sign me, them, when they were at Crystal Palace, Malcolm and Terry Venables. They came to watch me at Darlington. And he wore, that big hat he used to wear.
Yeah, that fedora. Fedora one, yeah.
And you thought somebody scored a goal. Because what had happened, it fell. The chair broke, because it fell off the chair. The wooden chair come back up, and he fell off the chair. They were all laughing at him, raw. But he got this reputation of a great coach. Still likes him, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I think anybody that's worked with him does. What I'm trying to say
is, without being critical to Malcolm, he did well at Crystal Palace. But at Manchester City, Joe Mercer had built up a team, pair of them together.
Yep.
And then he got the job, and then he goes and gets rid of, and he liked young players, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
He got rid of Peter Barnes and Gary Owen, which would establish themselves as England internationals, and then he signs them McKenzie. Where did he sign that McKenzie from? For a lot of money.
Yeah,
McKenzie, Norwich.
No, I don't know. I can't remember.
The centre forward was signed from Norwich.
Justin Fashanu is from Norwich. Cloughie bought him. He bought Kevin Reeves. Kevin Reeves from Norwich.
Reeves.
Kevin Reeves.
Kevin Reeves.
Yeah. But I shared the Curran View, a lovely, wasn't a documentary, it's a Q&A with, well, it's just a show. Garth Crooks is talking with Malcolm Allison, and he's talking about his upbringing, he's talking about his career.
And to listen to the rest of this podcast, head on over to www.patreon.com/SRBmedia. Thank you.